is, what it do, what it is, lads and ladettes. It's your boy, the Grizz of Gamers, Nerds, and Geeks United. Welcome back to Yesterday Today. This, of course, is the show where we bring you some of the biggest news you may have missed over the weekend. This is Monday, and I got you covered because you were probably enjoying your weekend like I did. I completely unplugged, but I still got some news to bring to y'all, so here we go. Alright, lads and ladettes, so today I want to start off with some of those LucasArts Games classic adventure games. So on October 29th, they will be coming to Game Pass. That, of course, is Grim Fandango Remastered, Day of Tentacle, and Full Throttle Remastered. Now, I was never really a big fan of none of these games, but I do know that they were all a huge spectacle. So now if you were a fan of these games back in the day, and maybe you've revisited them numerous times, but if you were that much of a fan, because some of these games are really said to be great, like Grim Fandango, who's won multiple awards. So if you're really into these games, you got until October 29th. So hey, go ahead and enjoy yourself. Alright, lads and ladettes, let's talk about some TurboGrafx, right? So this is a system that completely missed me back in the day, but I was always interested, always heard about it. Well, this is the TurboGrafx family, and now Analog, they are known for making their aftermarket consoles really good premium consoles. They made a NES, Super NES, and a Sega Genesis version of their own games, own versions, and basically it's really sleek, really beautiful, but also ultra rare and really hard to get. Now here it is. You have it here for $200. It's going to play games from the TurboGrafx 16, the PC Engine, the Super Graphics, TurboGrafx CD, PC Engine CD-ROM, and Super Arcade CD-ROM. It's coming out next year, and it will be $200 US. Now, these are really good quality systems. I haven't had a chance to get one myself, but they also said to be very great quality. It's basically like playing the systems, but they also come with HDMI ports and all the necessary upgrades and all of that. So if you're into this, let me know down in the comments below if you have one. I really want to know what the experience is like. You know, I haven't really seen any yet that made me go, huh, you know what, maybe I should get one, but I'm sure it will be one coming soon, and I can't wait to hear about it. Now, there's always Dreamcast Mini rumors out there, but what if Analog made their own Dreamcast versions? Now, a lot of people are saying, is Dreamcast really all that great? It is. I have two of them, honestly, but it would be really good to see an analog version of the Dreamcast. But this actually looks sleek and awesome, and a little more on the expensive side, but if you're into retro gaming, here you have it. Alright, so this holiday, the Atari VCS is launching alongside the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. I have no idea why. And in fact, up till now, we still haven't really even seen any gameplay for it. But with that, coming out with that, it's a new cryptocurrency from Atari. No, I'm not making this stuff up. Atari, alongside the VCS, is launching the Atari token, where basically they're a quarter a token, and they plan on selling 14 million at launch. And this is actually to purchase in-game stuff on the Atari VCS, and they actually hope to use it somewhere down the line, and you know, whatever. You know, I'm really worried for people who are going to buy the VCS because they paid their money and they have no idea what it's going to be. They have no idea what it's going to look like, and well, we already know what it's going to look like, but we're talking about how games are going to play, and they feel like that they actually said they're going to make a splash. Here's a direct quote from Frederick Chesnius. He said, "We have a brand, we have a following. We think we are going to get some attention in any case." They think they're going to make a splash. Hey, listen, if the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X sell, say, 10 million between November and March, what are the chances that this might sell 1 million? If that's a splash, I don't know what is it. You know, it just, you know, if they're happy with that, why not? Alright, lads and ladettes, if you're excited for Miles Morales, Spider-Man Miles Morales like I am, well, then you may have heard about this. So, if you beat Spider-Man from 2018, well, then if you beat the game, then you got a chance to win this Spider-Man crossed Lego figurine here, and I definitely entered. You know how simple it is? You scroll, you go to the website, all you got to do is go over, boom, and just click enter. Log in and then click enter. That's it. So I'm definitely down for this. I would love this to have it on my shelf, have it on display, and possibly some of the videos. Maybe launch it along, you know, when the game comes out alongside. If I decide to actually stream it, I won't be getting the game on release. I will be saying that, because it comes out alongside of a bunch of other stuff. But I would love this figurine. Also, I would like to make note that this is US only. So if you are in the US territories, go ahead and go to the PlayStation website, log in, and enter the sweepstakes to win yourself one of these awesome figurines. So first of all, I definitely want to give a shout out to whoever runs Xbox Game Pass, their Twitter account, because this is awesome, right? So there is a possible rumor that Rainbow Six Siege might be on Game Pass. First of all, this is a tweet from them, and then of course you see 6 rainbows all together. Of course, it's 6 pieces of rainbow. So, and if you count it, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down here. And then, of course, this here is siege weapons from the medieval times. So this is definitely a great hit toward. Honestly, if it does come out, that's awesome. And shout out to Rogan Shao, who answered somebody's question and said it's either Mountain Blade or Kingdom Crusaders 3. And this would be, honestly, that would be okay. I guess those games on Game Pass would be cool. But honestly, Rainbow Six Siege, given the fact that it is such a huge spectacle, putting on Game Pass would be, it would just be awesome. Awesome, honestly. All they need to do is just take their microtransactions and just get all the money from that, because this game is sold so much. The game is reduced price now. It's like $20 to $30 or something like that now. Why not throw it on Game Pass and then up your cosmetics and stuff like that? That actually sounds very awesome. Maybe I'll actually give it a try. I'm not really into these types of games, but if it's on Game Pass, yeah, it's worth a try. So the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War beta, cross-play beta I should say, that was across PS4, Xbox, and PC, definitely was going on over the weekend, and I definitely missed out because I was doing something else as far as multiplayer was. Playing some of that Ghost of Tsushima Legends mode, more on that in another video, but I missed out on this, and I'm hearing that it was absolute chaos, and I heard that it was absolute fun going along with their new mode, the Fireteam Dirty Bomb, and it's 10 teams of 4, and it's not exactly Battle Royale, and basically y'all are trying to get an objective and make the bomb explode, and then they get hit with toxic gas in other areas. This seemed like absolute fun. As I said before, after playing the Modern Warfare remake, I am definitely on board for this, and I just can't wait for this game to come out on November 13th. Alright, maybe I was telling a story a bit. I did say more on that in another video, but I will give you this, that I did play Ghost of Tsushima Legends this weekend with my boy Yuri Pikachu. Shout out to you, bro. And it is actually very fun. But as soon as you cut the game on, you hear maybe a familiar voice among us nerds. Maybe if you are a Nickelodeon fan, Teen Nick fan, and a fan of the Avatar series, and cool Samurai Jack, well, you may have recognized Greg Baldwin's voice, who did the voice in the narrator for Ghost of Tsushima's Legends mode, and it's an absolute blast, and I think that they're doing the right thing. Recognizable voice, awesome gameplay, just more extended, and it's just, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna just stop right here. I actually got more that I want to say eventually in another video about Ghost of Tsushima, so I'm just gonna stop it right there. Alright, lads and ladders, let's get into the real meat and potatoes here, and it's just one topic. Yep, Xbox. See, last Friday after yesterday, today went up. A big interview came up with Phil Spencer that went up on Kotaku. Shout out to Stephen Totilo, or Totolo, however he pronounces it. He had a great interview with him, but shout out to Nebelia for the excerpts. And basically, a good amount of things were brought up. I definitely recommend that you go and read this whole article. This whole interview was actually very awesome. But here is some of the small experts done by Nebelian, and shout out to him for that. And basically, Phil Spencer was asked this: is it possible to recoup a $7.5 billion investment if you don't sell Elder Scrolls 6 on the PlayStation? And real quick, he said yes. Then he took a second. He said, I don't want to be flip about it. This deal was not done to take games away from another player base like that. Nowhere in the documentation that we put together was, how do we keep other players from playing these games? We want more people to be able to play games, not fewer people to be able to go play games. But I'll also say in the model, I'm just answering directly the question that you had. When I think about where people are going to be playing and the number of devices that we had, and we have xCloud and PC and Game Pass and our console base, I don't have to go ship those games on any other platform other than the platforms that we support in order to kind of make the deal work for us, whatever that means. Okay, so he said whatever that means, and honestly, it seems like he's kind of leaving the door open. Not saying that they would, but what if Sony just said, hey, listen, why don't you bring Game Pass over there? Now, what about if Nintendo said, hey, why don't you bring Game Pass on that? Yeah, well, he actually said something. He was actually brought something that was actually brought up about Nintendo, and they said, where does that leave the prospect of more Xbox games coming to non-Xbox consoles? And he said it doesn't feel sustainable to consider Xbox games on a case-by-case basis for Switch. In order to really support it, I would want a full Xbox ecosystem somewhere, and that probably means that things like Live and Game Pass and stuff like that. And honestly, with that, it makes sense. If you're playing stuff, say if like Gears of War ended up on Switch for some reason, right? You know, maybe the rumored Switch Pro ended up on there. Well, you would need to sign into Xbox Live because that's an Xbox Studios games, and that's when stuff gets really, really tricky. And honestly, maybe it costs extra money, and maybe you want to have dedicated servers just for outside stuff. That's not necessary. So I really do believe that this is exactly what Phil is saying. Yeah, let's move on to the rest of it. And he also played a recent build on Halo, but doesn't really have anything to report yet. And he says, he was asked if Microsoft would consider offering Halo Infinite's campaign at a different time than the multiplayer. He said, Bonnie Ross, who's also the head of the Halo franchise, Bonnie and the team will go drive the decisions. But I think we want to make sure people feel like they have a Halo experience. I think we can look at options like that. He said any decisions like that would have to factor in the structure of the game and its storytelling. So yeah, I think that's something to think about, but we want to make sure we do it right. So basically, he also said he's leaving it up to Bonnie and the team who's developing Halo. And hey, it's awesome. You know, I just can't wait for Halo Infinite. I always love Halo, no matter how bad or good that it looks. I always love Halo. Wasn't the hugest fan of Halo 5 story, but absolutely loved the gameplay. That was the absolute best gameplay that I've ever experienced in the Halo franchise. It was absolutely modernized, and actually, absolutely loved that multiplayer. So I really can't wait to hear more about Halo Infinite. But yeah, so these excerpts definitely came out of this article, and this whole article was absolutely awesome. It actually happened on Kotaku.com. You see snippets all over the place, but Kotaku is the main source. Shout out to Kotaku. They always get the great articles and interviews. But man, I just really can't wait for this generation to start, because all of this stuff is just ramping up. And you know, I'm actually wondering, because Nintendo was on top in the MPDs for September again. And with the Xbox and the PlayStation coming out next month, will it be the same anymore? Because these are all new consoles. Maybe we're going to get the new Nintendo Switch Pro announced next year to maybe launch back up, or maybe they're just going to coast through 2021 and then put out that Switch Pro in 2022. Hopefully that maybe by the end of 2020 and by the end of 2021, a good amount of fan base have their PS5 and Xbox Series X or S. And it's really going to be interesting going ahead. Alright, lads and ladettes, that is it for today. Thank you so much for coming. Please go ahead and like this video if you haven't already. If not, hit the dislike. It's all good. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe and scroll up to all on the notifications bell so you know when your boy is posting. And please share all over Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media platform you use. Text it to whoever. Okay? Show it to your mailman. They probably know me. They probably see me. I'm pretty popular for some reason. Lads and ladders, thank you so much for watching. And this video is finito.